This is my quick set tenon jig. The cool thing about this jig is I can do a simple flip of a lever to cut both cheeks of a tenon very repeatably and accurately. But when I first built this jig back in 2008, I didn't yet make a lot of video, so I'll build it again just to show you how. I've got some of the specific hardware gathered here, mainly this steel rod with bushings that slide on it very precisely, 1/2 inch diameter, a couple of knobs and bolts, a dial indicator, and the main handle knob, and beside that I just need wood and wood screws. And here I've got my plans printed out, templates for all the plywood bits, and then here's templates for the hardwood bits, and the rest of the drawings I haven't printed out yet. So just working out with the plywood that I've got, how to lay out the pieces of wood to cut it with minimum scrap. Plywood parts all cut out. Now for the hardwood parts, I've got them printed out here, and I got a stack of maple that should be more than enough. I printed out an extra copy of this plan here so I could cut these templates out and still use this one to track the parts. And the next thing is to cut these fingers in here. That's easiest done with the templates on the bandsaw, but before I do that, I need to drill a hole for the shaft to go through here. I've just drilled a test hole to make sure the shaft fits in there tightly. These holes are going to be for this shaft, and I need to have just a snug fit. So I tried some of my different 1/2 inch drills, and some of them are really quite loose. But this hole here makes for a very snug fit, so that's the drill I'm going to use. This shaft is going to slide in these bronze bushings, and the bushings need to go into holes in here, and I'm going to drill that out with a Forstner bit, but I have to be really careful to make sure the alignment is correct. Last time I had it just a little bit crooked, and that really made things bind. So what I'm doing is I keep rotating the piece as I drill it, so that if the drill is off in a bit of a direction, it'll cancel when I continue drilling. For the bolts that fit in here, in my plans I've got carriage bolts, which have got this square part of the head, and I just have to drill a cavity here, but I've got some of these jig bolts that are meant to go into T-slots, and these are even better, but I need to cut a different cavity for it here. These oblong bolt heads are great because it keeps them from spinning if I tighten the knob on the other side. But there are many ways to screw up a jig like this. I initially marked the indentations on the wrong side. Fortunately, I caught myself before I actually drilled them out. Before I start attaching stuff to the top of this base, I need to attach this to the bottom, and I'm going to cut a dado in the bottom. And this is a miter slot rail. I actually just made this one. For more details on how to make one that fits precisely, see my video on making a small table saw sled. Now, the base of this jig is supposed to be about 6.5 centimeters from the blade. So if I just move it to about here, and then set the fence to it, that tells me where this needs to be, and so now I can mark the location of the slot. Let's see how those bushings line up. It looks like it comes in a bit too high on this way, so it needs to tilt this way here. And for this one, also too high, so that one needs to tilt inwards as well. That's a bit better. These three blocks are going to support the carriage that goes on top of here, and that carriage has got a base and a front face and this brace here. And that's as far as I'll take it in this video. I'll finish this jig in my next video.